Chewing the fat.
Listen.
I've been hearing a lot lately about men don't talk, but in my experience, men do talk, just people aren't listening. So it's going to be me and a group of blokes discussing our struggles and victories through life. Warning, there may be some bad language, so apologies to all the moms, especially my own. Let's get going.
Listen.
I've been here. This is the Black Country Blokes, Chewing the Fat with me, Kev Dillon, Aaron Duke, Lee Cadman, Craig Pinches, and our special guest today is a boxer who boxes for Great Britain, super heavyweight, Frazer Clarke. So thank you very much for coming on, Frazer. But today we're going to be talking about, yes, he's already a very accomplished boxer, winning a gold medal at the Commonwealths, a silver medal at the Europeans, and if you're familiar with boxing, we know about the scandal at the Worlds. But we're going to talk about what started his process in boxing, where he aims to go, and the struggles he's faced in and out of the ring. So, Frazer, what you're going to be asked this question more times than I've had Sunday dinners. But what got you into boxing?
I think it was like I was one of them kids that tried everything. I tried every sport you can think of, and I think once I started with the boxing, I just sort of took to it. I was a little bit chubby. I wanted to lose a bit of weight. I wanted to learn how to look after myself. I can remember my dad watching Mike Tyson and that in like early '90s and stuff. So I just thought, after trying every other sport, and I wasn't that good at them, to be honest, I thought I'd give boxing a go. And if boxing didn't work, I would have gone on to something else. But I sort of fell in love with it after a bit. Do you know what I mean?
How old were you when you first started?
I was 11.
And what age were you when you got picked up by GB?
By GB, I was 16, or just like 16, just turning 17. Yeah,
That's amazing. In that short period of time, for going to club level, to internationals, phenomenal. Were you always a big kid?
Yeah, I've only ever boxed at super heavyweight from 14 years old. My first fight was. That was at 92 kilos. So yeah, the numbers are amazing, aren't they? But I've always been big, and I think realistically, like I think that helped with getting onto GB because there's not a lot of super heavyweights in the division, not a lot of super heavyweights worldwide. It's always the smallest number of fighters. Maybe because obviously it's hard, and secondly because there's just not a lot of big lads.
But you used to box at Burton ABC, didn't you?
Yeah, I started my career at Burton ABC, and they're still like my family now. The coaches there and the staff, everyone, they've done wonders for me, and they always will be. The first people I ever thank will be the people from Burton, Amateur Boxing Club, because without them, I wouldn't have gone on to the success I've had, and they've sort of paved the way that my life's going to pan out.
And that's lovely to hear. That is, because Jay is a very good friend of mine from Burton. Great bloke, brilliant coach. But with any sport, you start off at that grassroots, don't you? Where you're learning your ABCs, and then your talent excels you, but it's the people who help from grassroots level.
And I think they get forgot about a bit too much from me, to be honest, because anyone that does get to the level I'm at, there was produced by people like Jay Allen, one of the trainers now, like you said, my first coach, Richard Joyce, Trev Marler, your dad, people like that, without people like that in the game, you've got no champions. Anyone who you look at now, they've once had an amateur coach who was probably a volunteer and wasn't getting paid for it, probably leaving his wife 3 or 4 nights a week to come to the club and try and discipline a bunch of mathy kids just to help them out a little bit.
I thought it's brilliant when one of Burton's boxers was fighting the Lions, and you come down just to support. But you're going around shaking everyone's hands. I think you've just gone to the Worlds or the Commonwealths, a big tournament. You're going around shaking everyone's hands, and it was wonderful to see that. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on the show now, to show, yes, you're a brilliant boxer without blowing smoke up your arse, but you're a very kind person. And I think boxers get this stigma of being big, tough, nasty, whereas some of the greatest boxers and fighters I've ever met are also some of the most caring.
Well, I think, from my experience, it's the morals that that the boxing's taught me. It teaches you the respect and all that, And no matter what happens in my career, what level I got to, whether I'm the most famous man in the world or not, if there's a Midlands final less than 20 minutes away from me on a Sunday morning, whether it's someone from my old club or not, it's what I love watching. I love watching it. I love going there and thinking, oh, he's going to be good in a few years, or he's going to be good in a few years. But then if I can support the lads from the local club as well at the same time, I'll be there. That's just who I am. This is since 11 years old. It's what I grew up doing. Most weekends, for a lot of people was doing whatever, but I used to live for going down to the club on a Friday night, jumping in the minibus and going to either boxing myself or going to watch the other lads boxing in a social club, in Birmingham, in Manchester, all around the Midlands, that's what I live for.
And that's wonderful, because you can tell that with people. Yes, people have got talent, but very few people have still got that passion of the thing that got them into the sport in the first place.
Oh, I love it. Like I say, the grassroots. No, I've seen a picture. No one gets you don't get to box in them stadiums unless you've boxed in a social club. You know what I mean?
Mm. And that's what people forget, isn't it? And I think a lot of celebrities forget that. They forget about when they're boxing or performing, whatever it is, at that labour club, that working man's smelly club.
Without that, you go nowhere, mate. Honestly, it's like your apprenticeship and your rite of passage. You need it.
But to the people who want to stick with it and go to GB, what would you say are the best things about getting picked to box for Great Britain?
I'd say the best thing for me has been, I think I've been on a plane once or maybe twice before I got into Great Britain, and now, sometimes I go to 8 different countries a year.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity to see the world, not just that, to represent your nation, and to to win medals. Just to be presented in that kit. It's a proud moment for you, a proud moment for your family, and it's just working hard for something. There's not too many people. If you put everyone in the world into a little bunch, you only have a select few people that get to represent their country. It's an honour.
And it's lovely when people see it as an honour. Because to me, I think there's nothing better than wearing your GB or an England or a Scottish or a Welsh, whatever it is. You should have such pride that you have worked that hard, that you have achieved it. And GB, sorry.
Say again, sorry.
Sorry, no, you carry on, sorry.
I said, maybe now after so long doing it, I take it for granted, but every now and then, I've been clearing out clothes recently, and I've been going through my vest. I've probably got 50 different England and Great Britain kits, and when I look back at it, I walk into some gyms and they're lucky to have one vest on the wall. Do you know what I mean? I've got enough to give to every single kid at the gym. So It's an honour, really. But you take it for granted. But I suppose that's life and the way it is. But when it's all said and done, I look back, I think it's going to be one of my greatest achievements, just representing the country and representing it for so long.
What would you say your greatest achievement has been within being a GB?
I'd probably say the Commonwealth Games. So the Commonwealth Games was a big one for me because it was like the international stage. It was all over the TV. But other than that, the Europeans 2017, I boxed, and not a lot of people know, I boxed with one leg and one hand. I'd broken my hand. I was needing an operation, and during the tournament, I'd snapped my hamstring in my leg, and I managed to get a silver medal. And I could hardly get out of bed, let alone fight. But I was just, it's what I got up for. So that's the great achievement for me as well.
Well, because
Can I ask, Frazer, what kept?
Carry on, Lee. Carry on.
You going through that? What kept you? You could have left at that point. What kept you going?
What when I got injured?
Yes.
Oh, it's just something. I think when you become a boxer and when you represent your country and the lads in the team that I'm surrounded by, it's something inside me, mate. Like, I might not be able to do I might not be the best runner. I might not be able to do the most press ups, the most sit ups. But when it comes to fighting, I'm going to sound like an Irish traveller here. I'll never ever back down from a fight with any man with two arms and two legs. And it's just the way it is. Just what's in me. Some people have got it, some people haven't. But unless I'm near dead and can't take myself in the ring, I'm going to do it. I'm not long had a little baby daughter as well, and the way we work, it works on funding, and I wanted to get that funding up, and I knew to do that, I needed to perform well and win the tournament, or if not, at least get to the final. And you was gonna, I would have had to have no legs to get in. I still would have gone in there. And so, yeah, like I say, it's just the kind of person you are. I think it sounds cliche, but you're born a fighter. You're born, if you can really fight, you're born with it, and that's something I've got in abundance. Excuse me, but I've got balls, and bigger balls than anyone you ever meet. So I'm never afraid to fight anyone.
Because that's what we like. That's what we like on here. Because it's a lot about mental health, and like some people listening to you thinking, "What a balmy git, willing to go in there and fight in front of all these." But just like that's just your DNA, isn't it? There's different levels of fear, isn't there? There's like fear of being able to read a book in front of your class, or asking a girl out, or doing bungee jumping. And some things that seem so petrifying to some of us are a walk in the park. I mean, I always think like courage and confidence are two completely different things. Confidence is a mask that I can wear, and yeah, I'm good. Courage is when your legs are shaking, your stomach's there, and you go, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you just have to overcome demons. I mean, like going into, I still get the same feeling now going into a fight as I did when I was 14 and I boxed in Coventry in a little working men club against a travelling lad, and he had 50 screaming blokes there going crazy for him. And I still get the same butterflies now, but you learn to overcome them. And like I said, I'm not, when I say that thing about fighting anyone, I'm not the hardest man in the world. There's bigger people out there. There's better boxers out there. But I believe in myself, and if I lose, you've got to be a very, very good man to beat me at what I trained to do since 11. If you beat me, I shake the hand, I raise the hand after the fight. But you're gonna have to be very good.
That's not arrogance. That's just self-belief. And I think a lot of them,
I'm not arrogant, honestly.
I think people get that mistaken nowadays. They think, "Oh, listen to him. He's saying how good he is." That's believing in you. And you say, if someone does beat me, they must be bloody good. It's not saying no one in the world can't beat me, but it's having that self-belief. And if we can believe it, then we can achieve it.
100%. I mean, I've gone out there, and like you said, when you do go into a boxing match or a bout fight, you both going in. There's two people going in there with the same mentality, but there's only one person getting an arm raised at the end of it, and that's the top and bottom of it.
Because you worked on the doors for years, didn't you?
I worked on the doors, and I worked on the boxing shows, on the boxing events, and that was just, I'd say working on the doors was just, just trying to put a bit of money in my pocket when I was a bit younger. But then I started working at the boxing events, and that was more, boxing was what I wanted to do. I thought I'd get my eye in and just have a look what's going on the scene.
So, Frazer, you mentioned earlier that you do a lot of this, obviously, for your daughter. I can imagine now that you have options of going pro, which probably would bring more money in. Why do you stay in that GB setup?
I mean, there is an option there, but I'm going to say this now. People are going to say, no, you're stupid. But 11 years old, you walk into a gym, you got a dream, then you get selected to box for your country, then you see all these people going to the Olympics, and it's a special thing. Any man walking down the street that goes to the local pub you can go and do a couple of years training, sign a contract, you turn professional. You turn professional as a journeyman, turn professional and try and win a local title, British title. You have a very select few people that can go to the Olympic Games, win a medal. And I just wouldn't be able to look back at myself. I've had lump sums of money. I've had phone calls this week. People saying, "Look, you come and have a chat with us, you will get this amount of money, this amount of zeros in your bank, then you box this, blah, 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 blah. But still, that select group of people, like I said, that go to the Olympic Games, I think you're special. And, I just think, I wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror if I didn't follow my dream. And that is, as cheesy as it sounds, as cliche as it sounds, that's the God's honest truth.
And you've come so far to stop now, haven't you? You've been with GB for a hell of a long time, and it's almost like this is your time now. You've had more experience as a national boxer, GB boxer, or whatever, than most. So whatever they throw at you now in these big tournaments, you've dealt with someone from that style. But what they might not have that you've got abundance is that mental toughness to keep going forwards to reach that dream.
Exactly. Like there's been a lot of people. Some people are a bit naive to it, and people actually criticise me. Oh, you've been on there for 10 years. People have got it totally wrong. There's nothing wrong with being on there 10 years. It's an absolute honour to be on there for 10 years. Because I've seen people walk in the door, and after 6 months, they're told politely, sorry, you're not good enough. So for me to be there for 10 years is a compliment to me, actually.
Yeah. And look at all the different sparring and drills and countries, because everything you've got is experience.
Oh, 100. I can call upon, like, I forget where I put my car keys. I forget everything. What I don't forget is when I boxed in 2009 against Joseph Parker in India. He kept hitting me with an overhand right hand because my hand wasn't quite high enough. And then you learn from things like that. And that's the thing with the experience. I learned that I boxed a tall southpaw once, and I couldn't get out of the way with his backhand. I lost the fight. The next time I fought a southpaw, I avoided the backhand. That experience, it comes into your head. You know what I mean? All the time.
And that's something you can't buy, is it? Experience.
No, you can't buy that, mate.
But away from boxing, because I'm going to talk about the Olympics maybe at the end or something. But Lee was telling me you were at the London bombings, wasn't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing, but I just always seem to be there or thereabouts when there's something cracking off. It was I know the date now. It was March 23rd. It was down there for the World Series boxing, doing an interview, doing the press bit of the week in the what's it called? Not the buildings. What they called now? On the bridge. What? Oh, lost me now. But it was Westminster. Was in there, and then me, Callum French, Pat McCormack, we walked out, and we just walked into madness. To be honest, there was the guy. He was there. I seen him stabbing. I seen a stab police officer to death. I seen him get shot dead.
And how did that affect you mentally?
You know what? At the time, as you know, all boxers are a bit balmy. We're a bit balmy. Simple as that. At the time, it didn't bother me. The next day, we had the choice. Right, guys, if you don't want to box, you've had a terrible time. You don't have to box. I said, no, come on, we've got to box. I bloody trained hard for this. So we boxed the next day, thinking about it now. But now, when I think back of it now, it's upsetting. Like I said, I seen a man lose his life that was just trying to do his job. I seen a man shot and get killed. It wasn't nice, you know what I mean? But I often think of the PC Keith Palmer. I often think of his family and stuff. I feel for them, but it's just another life lesson. After that, I was trapped inside Westminster for 8 hours, locked down, police running around with guns, not knowing what was in the building, if the building was going to go up or not. You learn a lot about yourself in that time.
It's amazing, like what you said then, about the boxing. My dad always says that once the fight's happening, you haven't got time to be frightened. You survive, and you deal with it. It's only when you sit down afterwards and you go, I could have got killed there. That's when the worry kicks in.
Yeah, it's just that it's human instinct. That is, like, obviously since the days of the caveman. It's survival of the fittest, and that's the way it is, especially in a fight. If someone's coming at you, the only thing is put your hands up and punch back.
Because Lee said, told me something, I wasn't aware of it. You were stabbed a few years ago?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. I've got a big juicy scar on my neck here. I got stabbed in the neck once, and in the leg twice. Yeah, 2016.
It's amazing that, but with those big injuries, once again, could have taken your life, and you still persevered
Yeah,
with it.
yeah. Of course, like these are all tests. These are all tests. That's all they are. They're all tests. And one day, I'm going to write a book, and everyone is going to be a bestseller. And you know why? Just because I've had all these experiences in my life, and I'm still here. I'm still doing what I love. I'm being a good person. I'm spreading good vibes to everyone. I'm a nicest person you're gonna. I'll do anything for anyone as long as we respect each other. That's all I need.
I think that's a great life lesson to all those youngsters and elders who are listening to this. You haven't got to be vile to be hard.
No, of course not. Of course
And
not.
how,
Like I said, I can look after
sorry,
myself, but if you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. It's as simple as that.
and how you feeling with
Can
like
I
the
just
Olympics?
interrupt there and just say that
Sorry, carry on.
can I just say it's important as well, just from speaking, listening to you speak, I think it's important to make a note of that you're the kind of people that people need to seek out, because already I'm getting like positive, strong vibes off it just listening to you. So I think it's where they say that you are the average of the people you find in your circle. I think it's important to find people like you to be around if they're going through tough times, or if they want to spark or want some ambition. So I just thought I'd note on that. It's just a little feeling that's just come to me.
No, listen, like I'll tell you straight. Like I've seen, I say this, and this is not to like big myself up. Anyone ever suffering with anything, if I can help you, and I will do. If you get my phone number off someone, or you speak to me on the internet, can't reply to everyone, but if you get my phone number, and you want to chat about anything, I'll do it. I ain't bothered about bigging myself up about doing it. It's nice to be nice, and that's just the way I've been brought up. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just the life is a struggle, and if you can help someone, you should.
Lee, have we got any questions or any shout outs?
We've had Stephen Hansel. I'll display it across the bottom, but he basically, on your note about taking the money, he's just saying that if you ever change who you are and your dreams for money will still soon become another demon to conquer, in his opinion. So he's basically saying what you were saying there, Big Phrase, that it's not all about the money. Yes, we all need to earn money and provide for our loved ones, but it is also about following your dreams, and not and the money will come no doubt eventually either way if you pursue those dreams hard enough.
If I have to go and work a normal job for the rest of my life after my boxing career, but I can look myself in the mirror and I can sleep easy at night knowing I did my best to follow my dream, I'll be happy. If I don't do that, money, as much money as you want, I couldn't stand to look at myself. I'd rather be happy than miserable and full of money. That's just me, mate. And that's the truth.
That's a lovely attitude.
So at the moment, Frazer, I don't want to push you on plans for the future too much, but would your plan is at this point to win the gold and then go on to become a professional, or are you done once you've won that gold and going to ride off into the sunset as such?
No, I'm not done. I ain't done. As long as I can still fight, I'm not done. I'm going into professionals, raring to go into them, to be honest. Like I say, with this Olympics, no matter what I've just said about the Olympics, what you got to remember is it's also been postponed. So that's a totally different situation. That's making everything a lot harder. But after that Olympics, I'm straight into the pros, straight down to business. No messing around. Get me in there. I like competing with the best in the country, country, best in the world. Let's compete. Let's see who's the best man, and I'm ready for it.
How did it affect you, bruv? Because normally when you train at GB or at Burton or the Lions, wherever it is, you've got your coach going, "Come on, Fraser, give me one more round, one more round." Has it been extremely difficult getting yourself motivated in your own digs?
Oh, mate, it's very, very difficult. And anyone that says it's not, especially when there isn't a fight date coming up, they're lying, because I don't know the next time I'm going to be in a competitive fight. But what I do know is I give myself the best chance to win that fight by doing the work now. So it is difficult. I'm getting the work done. But what I will say is, rather than training at 100%, I'm training at 60%. A, because I'm not trying to burn myself out, and B, because I haven't got the people around me that push me to be 100%. I can work harder, man. Don't get me wrong, but can I work as good? I'll be realistic, not lying. No, that's God's honest truth.
Because
I suppose you've always had the great trainers around you as well, like Joshua and Joe Joyce. You know, they probably give you some really good sparring and really good training around you. And it is hard to compete with that when you're in your own garage.
It's the nature of the beast, you know. If you're a boxer, you're a competitor. So if the person on the bag next to you is working hard, you want to outwork them. And I don't care what anyone says. People like praise. If I know I'm going to get praise off Big Bob for working hard, and the person next to me thinks he's going to get praise, he's going to try and work the hardest. you want your arse to be licked, and that's the truth about it. The top of it is you want the praise because it makes you feel good, and who don't want that? Everyone wants it. So anyone that says they don't want praise, they're not bothered about that. You do want it.
Yeah, and I think that's where society goes wrong sometimes. We keep offering the stick when we should offer the carrot. Instead of telling someone they're wrong all the time, find something they're doing good and praise that.
Exactly, 100%.
And like with the Olympics being postponed indefinitely for, let's call it 12 months, let's hope we can get back to gym life. So even if we're not competing, you can be around people. I mean, I think it's brilliant what GB are doing. They're phoning you up all the time and setting your program. So they're keeping your eye on you, like I'm doing with the Lions. I'm still in contact with my boxers, setting out them exercises. But it's frustrating when you're supposed to be boxing next month, the month after. It's hard to keep that focus.
It's very hard. But like I say, what it is it comes down to then what kind of person you are. You know, like you got to think long term in this game. If you're thinking short term, that it's not bothered training this week. When you get back to it, believe me, I've done it every Christmas for how long? I start eating turkey and having a lager. Before you know it, you put 5-6 kilo on, and then you got to go back to training. Believe me, it's hard work. So you got to keep yourself right. I'm not saying to anyone go out and kill you. You know, don't run yourself into the ground. But even if you're not grafting, you got to be thinking boxing. Watch old fighters. Watch champions. Watch people. Learn something.
If you had to say that, looking back at old videos, who was your hero growing up when you look? Because you've got this lovely big frame, but who did you used to want to be like?
I'd say if you ask me, the first person who comes to my head is Marvin Hagler. Even though I don't box nothing like him, but I loved what he stood for. I loved the rough, old school fighter. Goes away, does his training, gets into a fight, he's ready to fight, and I give it his all. But then when I look at the boxing side of thing, you know, obviously me growing up my era, Lennox Lewis was the man, was unbelievable. Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson, all them kind of guys. Then I'm also a lover of the Mexican style of fighters, you know, Marquez, Barrera, them people. They were great fighters.
I mean, Lennox Lewis is probably my all-time favourite heavyweight. I mean, everyone loves Muhammad Ali, but there was just something about Lennox Lewis I loved. That beautiful long jab, and he was just phenomenal.
He was cool, mate. Honestly, he's the perfect specimen of a heavyweight.
But if you had to say something to these people, an upcoming Fraser or an upcoming Kev, who says, "I want to get into boxing, and one day I'd like to go to the Olympics," what would you tell them to do?
I'd say you get to your local gym. You need the money that you'd spend on sweets and chocolate if you can't afford it, or the money you'd waste on something else, you pay a couple of quid for your subs. Give it a go, because if you don't try, you don't know. It's as simple as that.
And have you got any quotes or anything that have helped you get through your dark times and your hard times?
Say again?
Have you got any quotes or inspirational things that, you know, when you're feeling downright rotten and you have this little saying, it'll pick you back up again?
Yeah, I have actually. I've got, what is it? Yesterday's forgotten. Tomorrow never comes, but today I'm okay.
That's a lovely saying. Well, good luck on your journey. And if you don't mind, maybe the build up to the Olympics when it happens, or just after when you're a medalist, hopefully a gold medalist, come back on and speak with us again.
I'm here anytime you want, guys. Let me know, and it's not a problem. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Frazer. So until next week, gang, take care of yourselves and each other. Ta-ra a bit.
Take care, guys. Go on.
Listen.
And that's a wrap for another show. But if there are any comments or messages that you would like us to read out for our next podcast, please be in touch. There are also lots of different organisations at the bottom of this page, and hopefully they can help you or someone you care about. Please share this to spread the word. Until we talk next time, ta-ra a bit.